Question 58 from the Book of Questions. A good friend pulls off a well-conceived practical joke that plays on one of your foibles and makes you look ridiculous. How would you react? Well, it says here a good friend. A good friend is someone surely who knows me well and means well as well. And it says here, well-conceived. So if this is a well-conceived joke, presumably it's very funny. And if it's a good friend, meaning well, who does something very funny, then presumably I will be laughing. That will be my immediate reaction because it will be funny. I will be laughing. It says it makes me look ridiculous. Now, that suggests, doesn't say, but it suggests that this happens publicly because to be ridiculed, you have to have people to ridicule you, right? So let's imagine that lots of people have seen me looking completely ridiculous. They're all laughing. It is very funny. And if people who are particularly friends who mean you well are all laughing, you tend to laugh too. Laughter is contagious. So the answer to the question is pretty easy. I'm probably laughing. And I'd like to say that even if it does make me look ridiculous, I look ridiculous for a living, right? Do you know how long it takes to get my neat and otherwise beautifully coiffured hair to look this messy? It takes ages to make myself look this ridiculous. I put a lot of effort, frankly, into being ridiculous, and if someone else is just going to help me along a bit, well done them. But that's all too easy, isn't it? If there's a deeper part to this question, surely it's the time when you're caught. Which way do I go? Should I laugh? Should I get angry? What should I do? Now, when would that be? Well, that would be when someone who's actually not a good friend and doesn't mean you well pulls off a joke that's actually not funny, it's just nasty, but it's dressed up as a joke, hoping that they can get away with it. Ah, right. And they've played on one of my foibles, which is a little bit cruel as well. And lots of people now are laughing at me, and they're laughing at me because of that foible and how that makes me look ridiculous. So it's not the question which is here, the good friend, well conceived, etc. But it's a better question, I would suggest. Because in that situation, there'll be that moment when you're going to think, which way should I go here? Some part of you, some part of me, is very likely to be pretty annoyed. And I'd be annoyed by the fact that I've sensed their lack of good intention. I've sensed their glee in making me look ridiculous to their benefit. They're trying to make themselves look good. They're trying to get, vengeance, one-upmanship, but something like that out of it. They're trying to damage my reputation. Well, if that's what I think they're doing, then I should do whatever would protect my reputation as well as I could, which is likely to be taking it in good grace. Perhaps showing a sense of humour and a resilience of character, so that even if I do look ridiculous, other people will later be able to say, actually, do you know, I thought he'd be really angry, but he took it quite well. He took it quite well. And even if they saw that I was annoyed, which they might do because perhaps I was genuinely annoyed, and they saw that moment perhaps in my face where I'm thinking, which way am I going to go here? But they saw that I rose above it and I didn't get too angry and I remained good-mannered, at least. That might be something which they would find laudable. At least there was that. Now, it plays on one of my foibles. Never mind what the foible is. Everyone has foibles. So, I've been made to look ridiculous because of some particular character flaw. If it's just something about me, like, I don't know, I wear beige a lot. I do. So there's the joke is I get covered in beige paint. It's cruel. My clothes are ruined. I'm now going to have to work out a way of getting this out of my hair. I'm going to have to go home, have a shower, etc., etc. The beigeness of it makes it sort of appropriate, but beige is not a character flaw, it's just a colour. Let's imagine that it's a genuine character flaw. It's, I don't know, I'm pompous, I'm proud, I'm I don't know, I lie about not wearing a wig or something. I don't know. I don't wear a wig, by the way. This is actually real. I know. But let's imagine there is some character flaw. You can put in the comments what you think my greatest character flaw is, if you really must. And this is well conceived in that it very definitely points out that flaw to everyone else, starkly showing me to be flawed in a way which is funny because everyone else had seen that flaw in me too. I think you just got to own it, haven't you? Because if you know that you've got that flaw, then go with it. Yeah, yes, I have that flaw. Acknowledge it and move on, and you will not be hurt by it. If you know that you've got that flaw and you deny it, that's not going to impress anyone. The danger is if they do definitely point out a definite flaw in you, but you actually think you don't have that flaw and everyone else thinks you do have that flaw. That would be the worst situation to be in. Because you may be aware that other people think you have that flaw, but you might think you don't have that flaw. Well, there's no excuse for rudeness, and there's no call in the question as written for extreme violence or vengeance. Just try to be as magnanimous and as impressive as you can be. It's how would you react is what it says here. And oh, wait a minute, there's a supplemental. I've just seen the asterisk. 58. 58. How forgiving are you when your friends let you down? Okay, this supplemental question seems to be largely unrelated to the first question. This is about this is about friends letting me down. Am I being let down by a friend? If a good friend pulls off a well-conceived joke that makes me look ridiculous, is that them letting me down? No, I mean, if they thought nothing of me, they wouldn't bother doing that, would they? I don't think this question is very, very connected to the first one, to be honest. How forgiving am I? Well, if they meant well and it's well conceived, going back to the original question, yeah, I could forgive that. If someone who didn't have my best intentions pulled off a cruel prank, I don't think I would be tremendously forgiving, but I don't think I should be tremendously forgiving about that. As for when my friends... So let's take this question as a completely separate question. How forgiving am I when my friends let me down? Okay, let's just think about real life. I suppose pretty forgiving is the answer. It annoys me sometimes. I have a terrible, terrible record when it comes to lending people stuff. I keep lending people stuff. Just recently I lent someone something and it came back broken. So if I lend something to someone, I probably won't see it again. And when I get it back, it's almost always broken. And that has been the case my entire life. And yet I keep lending things to people, different people, I suppose, each time. And so each time I think this person won't let me down, and they amazingly consistently do. And so, yeah, so it seems that I'm tremendously forgiving. The thing is that if you never forgive your friends when they let you down, if they're friends for any length of time, they're going to let you down in some way at some point. If you don't forgive them, they're not going to stay friends for very long, are they? It's possible that my friends are less forgiving of me. I've lost a number of Facebook friends because they will post something and I will point out that what they've posted is actually wrong. And they don't like that, it seems. People don't like that. You're not supposed to do that. It's odd. People put up a public notice in a public thing, which is Facebook, so that, ta-da, a public thing. Hey, everyone, look, this. And you think, well, if it's wrong, surely a friend would point out, no, actually, that's wrong. I'm doing them a favour. I'm engaging with them, which is, it's debate, right? I'm often starting debates. I'll often say something moderately outrageous on Facebook in the hope of starting a debate. I might not completely think that thing, but it's just an interesting thought, isn't it? And my goodness, some people are so phenomenally hostile. I was just trying to start a discussion. And they will read all sorts of things into what I said that were not there. but they were by association put there in their heads, and then they unfriend me. But there you go. So I seem to be more forgiving than they are of that sort of thing. I think I've only, and it was accidental. I've only unfriended one person, and it was accidental. I clicked the wrong thing. Anyway, how forgiving are you when your friends let you down? Yeah, I'm going to have to go with my life experience. Yeah, I am forgiving. It annoys me, but life's got to go on, right?